Welcome once again to Acquire English Live. My name is Adam. I'm an English teacher from the United States. I'm here as always with Tuan, an English teacher from London. Tuan, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good. And in these videos, Tuan and I listen to a conversation. We break down that conversation and then we discuss the grammar that goes into it. And in today's grammar, we'll be talking about the difference between on time and in time. So we're talking, in time, on time and in time. So talking about being punctual a little bit today. So being on time. Tuan, are you a punctual person?
Yeah, I like to think so. I'm usually in time for things.
You seem that way, yeah. Were you have you always been? Maybe when I first met you, I felt like you weren't, but maybe I didn't know you that well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess that was my image, was maybe you're a little late.
Oh,
yeah,
no, I've always been very stressed if I'm late.
Oh, okay, good. I'm the same way. I've gotten better as I've gotten older, but I've always been really sort of stressed out if people are waiting for me someplace. So I don't mind if I don't mind waiting for people. I'll go very early, 15, 20 minutes early, just so I don't have to worry about people waiting on me. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, my wife likes to try to get to places just on time, so sometimes it stresses me out. Yeah, I try to hurry up and try to get her to move a little faster.
Sounds like a common wife complaint, right? So mine is mine's the same. My wife doesn't care about that, but yeah, I'm the type of person, like when I go to the airport, I have to go early. Like that's especially stressful. I don't want to be rushing and to get my flights. I don't mind going a little bit early, getting something to eat, getting something to drink, reading a book while I wait. That's a relaxing trip to me. But rushing to this train station and then rushing inside the airport, worried about getting through security in time, drives me absolutely crazy. So my wife always makes fun of me because I like to hang out at the airport beforehand.
Well, you can relax and don't have to worry about maybe a train delayed or some kind of problem. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. Let's have a listen.
Did you watch the football match last night?
I got stuck in traffic, but I made it home just in time for the shootout.
It was crazy. The goal at the end of the match was amazing.
Yeah, I saw the highlights. That was wild. All right, and let's go ahead and go line by line and break down the conversation. So the first line is this one here.
Did you watch the football match last night?
Did you watch the football match last night? So did you see the soccer game yesterday evening? The answer was, I got stuck in traffic. So I got stuck in traffic. So it means the roads were busy on my way home. So I couldn't move, maybe slow going on the way home. But I made it home just in time for the shootout. So I made it home just in time for the shootout. So I only saw the penalty shootout. So you can see in the picture, I got home and the penalty shootout is happening. So in that case, we'll use just in time here, which is our grammar point, which we'll get into in more detail shortly. But just notice with this picture, I'm running and the penalty shootout is just starting.
It was crazy. The goal at the end of the match was amazing.
So it was crazy means it was exciting. So the final goal of the match was great. So it was crazy. The final goal of the match was great. And the last line. Yeah, I saw the highlights. That was wild. So yeah, I saw the highlights. The highlights would be what they show on the news. So I saw it on the news. and then that was wild. So it was amazing or crazy. Yeah, what are some other ways? This wild we use a lot, right, Tuan, in a situation that's maybe a little crazy but exciting, right?
Yeah, I think maybe wild is closer to crazy. Maybe not necessarily a positive thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Just very unpredictable, or yeah, something that you wouldn't expect.
Right. So my image of maybe watching two rival teams play in the UK, if you're in the stands, I would imagine it's wild. There are people fighting. There's a lot of drunk people. It's exciting and unpredictable. Would that be right?
It can be, yeah, depending on the fans. England, maybe not so much nowadays, but if you go to maybe like Argentina or somewhere like that, yeah, it can get, I hear it can get wild.
Okay, so the soccer hooligans have settled down a bit in England.
Some places, yeah.
Okay. What's the worst place for hooligans in
What's notorious? There's a team in London called Millwall. They're very notorious.
Okay.
They're pretty bad.
Is that a major team, Millwall?
They're not major, but they're just very famous for being horrible.
Okay. It's a good reputation. They're famous for being horrible. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the grammar for this lesson. So the first one we had was in time. Now, in time means not late or punctual, as we were talking about before. So we had this sentence. But I made it home just in time for the shootout. So I made it home just in time for the shootout. So if this black dot in the middle is the start of something. So in time means before that start. So anytime before that starting point is safe. It means you're not late. Anytime after that starting point, you are late. So you are not in time. Okay, so anytime in this green area here, you're in time, you're safe, you're not late. Anytime in the red area, you're late, you're not in time. Now in the conversation, we used just in time. So it means just before the start of something, and perfectly timed just before. Again, in the picture, I'm rushing from my car into my living room, and I make it in time, but just barely, to watch the shootout. So we use just in time if it's very close. Is that okay? So let's look at a couple examples here. So the first one, I ran, but I didn't make it in time for the train. Is that okay? So the train is leaving. I will not be getting on that train, so I didn't make it in time. So you'll notice we often use for in this situation. So be in time for something. In this case, the train, or in the previous example, for the shootout. Okay. The next one, next example, the man always works late. He never gets home in time for dinner. Is that okay? So again, we have for dinner. So he's working, his family, his wife and son are eating, just the two of them because the man is at work. So again, we had for dinner. We could also use to in this situation. We could say in time to eat dinner with his family would also be okay. So be in time for dinner with his family is okay. Or he never gets home in time to eat dinner with his family. So we can use to or for in these situations. Did I miss anything about in time, Tuan? Did I forget anything?
I think you mentioned it before this lesson, but yeah, you said in time is like by.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you think of in time as being safe.
Mhm.
It could be maybe 1 minute before the start or a day before the start, but it's that whole area before.
Right.
So yeah, we got home by the shootout, by the start of the shootout, I guess
Right.
you can say.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we use by, we're saying by is very similar situation. When we compare by and until, by means before something happens, right? Not after. So after is late, not good. In time is before. We use by the same way. So by the start of the shootout would be okay. Good. So let's compare it with on time. Okay. So on time means according to the schedule. So we have a set time that we're going to start doing something. So on time means it's not early and not late. It's just this one point here, on time. Is that okay? So again, in time was before the start. All this time is safe. On time is generally at one point. And you'll find some situations where you can change the wording a little bit and use either one and kind of mean the same thing. But when we use on time, we're talking about according to a schedule, according to a timetable. So I think when we look at this next example, it'll be easy to understand. And I'm sure many people have seen this before. So you're at an airport. Okay. So you'll see all these different flights, all the different departures at the airport. So going to Toronto, London, New York, Bucharest. Where's Bucharest? Not important. Budapest and Rome. So, and then it has the remarks. So Toronto is boarding right now, gate open delayed. And then you'll see down here on time for Budapest and Rome. So the flight to Rome is on time. So it's going to leave as scheduled. Whereas the flight to New York is not on time. It is delayed. So it will be late. So the flight to New York will not be on time. The flight to Rome, the flight to Budapest are on time. Means according to the schedule. Again, according to this schedule. Did we get it?
Yeah. So like you said, you can see the times there. Budapest is 11:02. It's going to get there at 11:02. No later, no earlier.
Yeah. Depart, leave at 11:02. Yeah. We got it.
Right. Yeah, depart.
Okay. So let's take a look at a little quiz here. So we want to choose in time or on time. So again, we'll do one quick review. Again, on time is right at this one starting point. And in time means just before or earlier than the starting point, not after. Right? So on time, one point right here, right at the start. In time is all of this green area before the start. So let's take a look. And please write your answers in the comments below. So the first one we had, the train is usually time. Do we want in time or on time? I'll give you a few seconds. Please write your answer below. What do you think, Tuan? What's our answer here?
So the train is usually run on a schedule. So we would say on time.
On time, right? The train is usually on time, right? So it arrives on time according to the schedule. Okay, it doesn't come early, doesn't come late. It comes right at the time it's scheduled. Is that true in the UK? Are the trains usually on time?
Not really, no.
Yeah. In Japan, usually on time.
Yes, definitely.
Not always, but usually. Okay, so again, according to the schedule, on time. So let's look at the next one. We got to the station just time for our train. So just in time or just on time for our train? What do you think, Tuan? Is it just in time or just on time?
If we're using just, we should really use just in time.
Right, just in time. Just on time, not used so often. I can't imagine many situations we would use it.
Just on time.
Yeah.
You can say that, I guess, though.
You can, but this is the difference in this situation. If we say we got to the station, let's take out the just. It's not super important here, but we got to the station in time for our train means we got there earlier than we needed to in order to take our train, right? So if we say we got to the station just on time, or we got to the station on time for our train, it means we had a schedule, we had a plan about what time we wanted to arrive at the station. So if we say, oh, I want to get to this train station at 11:07, and then we get to the train station at 11:07, that's just on time, right? So it's possible to say, but it would be a little strange in most situations. We don't really care about getting to a place on time that much. We want to be there early enough. Is that okay? But just know there may be a situation where you could say just on time, but just in time is much, 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 much more common. Okay. Let's look at the next one. The band were late, so the show didn't start time. Didn't start in time, didn't start on time. Please write your answer in the comments. So Tuan, what is the answer here?
Well, it's not just trains and planes that run on the schedule, also shows, concerts, performances. Yeah, everything starts at a schedule. So yeah, we say didn't start on time.
Didn't start on time. So the band were late, so the show didn't start on time, right? So there's a set time that they planned to start. They did not start at that set time. And maybe we should talk about this were here. I don't know if you want to get into this, but
yeah.
British people and American people use was and were differently. As an American, 1000%, I would say the band was late. And I would also say my family was. So British people, when there's a group, it's a little more complicated. So they would say the band were late in this situation because there's many people in the band. Does that explain it? So unless you're specifically trying to use one or the other, in many situations, you can use either. So you can't be wrong. But as an American, I would say the band was late or the band is late. So British people are strange. So just kidding. So anyway, just notice that this is a difference between American English and British English. So the answer was the band were late, so the show didn't start on time. Okay, and the next one here. Why are you never time? Why are you never in time? Why are you never on time? Okay, what do you think? What's our answer here, Tuan?
This is maybe a common expression that someone would say, and you would hear, why are you never on time?
Right, why are you never on time?
Maybe a teacher to a student.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, because there's a set time for a class to start. So a teacher might ask that, right? Why are you never on time? Okay. And I have a couple more. So I forgot it was Tom's birthday, but I remembered time to buy a present. Okay. So completely forgot it was Tom's birthday, but then luckily remembered to buy a present. So remembered in time or remembered on time to buy a present. What do you think?
The birthday has a set time, but buying a present, there's no schedule for that. We don't set a schedule to buy a present. So we would say, I remembered in time to buy the present.
Right. Remembered in time. So it wasn't like a week later, you're like, oh no, Tom's birthday was last week and I didn't get him a present. Maybe the day before, or maybe even the day of his birthday, you remembered, so you still had time to buy a present and you bought a present. So in time. Okay, and the last one. We left early, so we got to the airport plenty of time. What does plenty of time mean? Plenty.
A lot.
Yeah. Enough, right? More than enough. We often say. So it wasn't 1 minute. It was more than enough time. So we left early, so we got to the airport. What's our answer here, Tuan?
This one again, think of it as no schedule. So we got there very early. The airport has a schedule, but we don't. So we could say in plenty of time.
In plenty of time, right? So in more than enough time. There was no need to rush. So any situation when you're talking about, oh, we didn't need to rush, so we got somewhere in plenty of time, means we had more than enough time. We didn't need to rush. We got it. We did it. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Again, here's our little scale here. On time means according to that schedule, not early, not late, right at this one point. And in time is this safe green area before the start of something. Just in time means right before the start of something. In time, on time. Okay. Any final things to add, Tuan? I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to talk about today. I'm going to put you on the spot as I always do. Anything to add?
No, there's nothing to add.
Okay. Tuan's comments. So thank you for watching. In the comments, let us know, are you a punctual person? Are you someone are you always waiting for your friends, or are your friends always waiting for you? Are you a punctual person? Don't forget to check out our other videos on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, we have the Acquire English Club. Go to aenglish.club if you want to practice speaking English with Tuan and I. And I think that'll just about do it for us today. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.